So we're going to Morph.graphics, and this is how we access the tool. So in Morph.graphics, you can see we can get started right away here in the browser. I can click on Getting Started. It's going to open the application straight there. So step one is importing your data. You can upload a data set and it will show you the limitations of what the browser can handle for this data. In this case, about 300 rows of data, a maximum file size of 2 megabytes, spreadsheet formats, standards, kind of Excel spreadsheets, XLS, a CSV file is fine too. But in this case, we're going to show you for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to use a sample data set. We do have sample data sets built into the tool, so you can get started using Morph right away with those sample data sets. We built in some fun sample data sets here. Largest cities in the world, Fisher's Irish data set, European Parliament election, honey production in the USA, mathematical number sequences, world happiness report. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pick this mathematical number sequences data set. That's kind of a fun one. And we also include the source information of these sample data sets as well. So this has powers of 10, primes, powers of 2, powers of 10, and the Fibonacci sequence. So we'll click on that one. And you can see here the columns that are brought up: rank, prime numbers, powers of 10, powers of 2, and Fibonacci. So we can also look at more data, more rows per page, and see we have 300 rows in this particular data set. So once I have the data set built in, my next step after previewing the data is to then design and pick a chart type. So we click on the design step, and we can actually click on 6 different chart types. We have pie chart, bar chart, scatter plot, line chart, area timeline, radial area. So we've really kind of explored, traditional kind of data visualization tools, tools like raw graphs and Plotly and Tableau and Flourish and these other data visualization tools. But we've kind of stemmed and built off of those traditional tools, again, to create something purely for abstract art, right? So we're going to create something where we can select any one of these chart types and then add a randomizing effect that is built in with the generative computer algorithm. So as a user, it allows you to kind of really create art based on choices that ultimately the kind of computer generates for you. So let's click under one of these. Let's click this radial area. So I'm going to fill it random so that these fields populate randomly from the data source. And then I'm just going to kind of customize things a bit further. If I don't like it, I can just clear and click fill random again and see what new kind of preview shows up for each of these charts. So that's kind of a really cool design and color. So I'm going to evolve that and go into my next step and click on the chart to evolve my tree. And again, every time you click on the original chart, it's going to make these new nodes or leaves and generate them from the original. So you can start to really experiment and start to see some of the cool, funky shapes and abstract images that start to show up. You can zoom out again to see kind of your tree starting to take shape and form. And let's go into one of these and on the editor. This looks like it's going to turn into kind of a cool shape and something that might also have some dimensionality effects to it. So we'll kind of change up our saturation, and maybe we'll go here and just kind of play with the offset and see what kind of abstract shapes we can get through our X and Y positions on this diagram here. The rank factor, we can start to manipulate that. That looks quite fun. We even have that random factor built into each one of these sliders, so we can really get in and manipulate this and really have fun and play with shapes and visual effects here. Also, there's like rotation, so we can manipulate the offset, rank factor of that, and then we'll just click save once we're kind of happy with that leaf. And you can certainly get lost in this tool and play within just like the tree in the editor for a long time, kind of allowing your eye to kind of just guide your art output and experimental decisions. So let's go into the export, and we'll click on one of these, and let's check this out with the animation built in. So again, just kind of start with our little our circular graph image, and then start to see it manipulate through these other sequences that we've generated through the evolution tree. And I kind of want to speed this one up, so we will include a duration of just like 4 seconds. And we'll change the background color here. Let's see. Kind of a funky purple background. And keep the title. There we go. So let's save this. So sometimes it will take a little bit longer, depending on the size of your animation, the number of how big your tree is, the sequence of images entailed. So we can slow that down maybe. Yeah. Grab a still image, save PNG. And click save. So that's Morph in a nutshell. You can use Morph again, kind of experimental tool for data visualization, for creating really abstract, wacky, funky, crazy images for your next data report, or just to start playing with generating abstract art from data, and also creating hopefully some fantastic art, original art. Thank you.